Hi everybody, I'm David Rodriguez. Welcome to Leaning Left. So now that Mike Johson is the new Speaker of the House, we're finding out more and more stuff about him, things he said in the past. And he's kind of a terrifying person, to be honest. Awful in nearly every way. One of the things that he said, though, kind of got me thinking about Republicans and how they want things to be. The current day Republicans, some of the ones in the past too, but, you know, he is a Christian white nationalist, basically. And he had the audacity to blame school shootings on abortion. Okay, so let me tell you what he said. I'm going to read this off my phone here. Many women use abortion as a form of birth control, in certain segments of society, and it's just shocking and sad, but this is where we are. When you break up the nuclear family, when you tell a generation of people that life has no value, no meaning, that it's expendable, then you do wind up with school shooters. Yikes. Okay. I promise you these issues are not connected. Okay, you might be able to find a shooting that somehow has some kind of bizarre connection in some way, but in general, these things they're not connected, for the love of God. That's crazy. Mr. lives his life by the Bible, doesn't seem to like to mention the fact that the Bible doesn't really talk about abortion. So anyway, regardless of that, here's what I got to thinking about, though. Okay, so we have this guy that's blaming these shootings on abortion, okay? Because we all agree the shootings are bad, right? We all agree that's bad. We disagree on why they happen. I mean, at least I hope we all think that they're bad. So he blames it on abortion. Now, let's imagine Republican utopia, right? It's a fucking nightmare, but let's imagine it for a minute, okay? So they completely ban abortion nationwide. It's gone, right? There's no way to do it. No way legally, at least. And very hard to do it illegally. Okay, that's what we're going to pretend for a moment. Now, this goes on for years, right? Yet, we still have shootings because we're not banning guns. That's for sure. We're not gonna make it harder to get guns. We're gonna make it easier to get guns whenever we can, and we're gonna let the most powerful guns out there be in the hands of civilians. So the shootings keep happening because that's what would happen. They keep happening. So what next? Because they have to have something to blame, right? They have to have something to blame for this. So what do they do then? Well, they'll do what Republicans love to do anyway. They'll find another outgroup to blame. It'll probably be, let's see, if it was Mike Johson in charge, it would be the queer community, right? Because he hates them. He thinks that's unnatural and a dangerous lifestyle for some reason. So he would blame them. He'd blame them for the shootings, for these deaths that people have a lot of, emotions over, understandably. And because this is Republican utopia, we can assume that a lot of people bought into this kind of line of thinking, or at least bought into believing whatever their Republican leaders say, right? So now what happens? Now, the hatred against the queer community goes up, which, I mean, it already is doing it, but it'll spike even further. And chances are pretty good it'll be condoned. It'll be condoned by the government because we have to stop these shootings, right? We have to stop them. I mean, they will say, is the way you want to have sex more important than these lives? That's what they'll say. I mean, it should be the guns, right? The guns. The question is, are these guns more important than these lives? But they won't say that. They will blame the queer community, right? So let's take this a step further. Let's say the right-wingers do what they want to do. And they either, and I'm going to leave this to your imagination how they would do it, they either eradicate the queer community or drive them all so far into hiding that you just don't see it anymore. It's there probably, but, I mean, it would be, but you just don't see it. Okay, let's say they succeed at that now. So they've banned abortion and they've basically banned being queer, right? They succeeded at that. But you know what happens? The shootings keep happening because it's the guns. So what next? What happens next? I know. It must be the immigrants, right? That's what they'll say. It's the immigrants. I mean, these could go in a different order, by the way, but we're just spitballing here. So they blame the immigrants. I mean, they're already saying that they're bringing all this crime over here, even though, like, statistically, the people coming over commit fewer crimes than people who were just born here. So really, the more of them that come over, the lower our crime statistics should be, like, percentage-wise. Should work out that way. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. They're going to blame immigrants. And it doesn't matter that the shooters are mostly white guys. That's not what's matter because those white guys were affected by these immigrants. It's the immigrants' fault from wherever they're from. But probably south of the border for the most part, right? Because Lord knows they do not like people speaking Spanish here, even though they like Mexican restaurants and stuff, but they don't want people to speak Spanish. Okay. So Now what? Well, now we have to be really strict and do like Abbott does down in Texas and put up like crazy razor wire stuff that, tangles people coming over and kills them. That's what they want to do. That's what they like to do. And if that doesn't work, the ones that come over, I mean, maybe they'll separate them from their kids. But, yeah, they did that. And then who knows? Maybe they'll just kind of disappear, right? Because that's what far-right governments tend to do. And they have to stop the shootings. Even though, again, it's not the immigrants, it's the guns. But they have to stop them. So now what? So now we've gotten rid of access to abortion, so the women are under control. Got to make sure that happens. We've gotten rid of the queer community. We have gotten rid of the immigrants. Now what? Now who must it be? Well, that's pretty obvious, right? It's going to be the people of color who live in this country, who were born in this country, who are U.S. citizens. Whatever group they target first, it'll be them, right? Those will be the next people. They'll try to get rid of them too, to stop the shootings. And so it will go. They'll have found a reason to justify doing stuff that they've shown us they wanted to do with like the family separations during the Trump administration. Like they want to treat the other like crap, like dirt, and they'll blame them for anything to make it happen. That's what this is partially about. They'll tell all their constituents it's about their freedom to protect themselves and have their weapons that they say the Second Amendment lets them have, even though it doesn't really, but whatever. Okay. That's what they'll say. And maybe some of them really do believe that, but let's be honest, they'll blame the other for just about anything. So that'll happen. It's going to happen if they get control. Because ultimately, that's what the right wants. These people who are basically white nationalists now, openly. The amount that they've stopped using the dog whistles and just say the quiet part out loud, I mean, it's not even rare anymore. It's not even weird, and no one condemns them when they do it. Because they want this country to be this all-white, Christian nationalist country. And this is one of the paths that they will try to use to get there. And look, that may not be their intention today. Maybe that isn't what's on their mind today. But it'll get there. It will get there. I promise you it will. So we all have to get out there. We have to make sure that these people don't win elections, that they don't hold on to power. We have to make sure that they see what happens when they choose extremism and they choose white nationalism and Christofascism. We have to show them that that does not win the day, that that is not what America is. So let's do that. I'm going to call to everyone once again, make sure you get out and vote. Take people with you. Talk to people who that maybe aren't sure they want to vote. Also, and I'm saying this not to be self-serving because it doesn't have to be about me, but find people that are out there spreading the word about what these people are doing and what they're trying to do. Whether it's this issue or something else, whether it's on YouTube or podcasts or whatever. If you don't like me, that's fine. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to follow, whatever. But find others and subscribe to them and talk them up. Let those videos show up more in the algorithm or the podcast or whatever. Get that information out there. Get those words out there. If you don't want to do it yourself, I understand because this is very time consuming. Help the ones out there who are doing it. The ones you like. Again, I'm not saying this for subscribers for me. If you like me, great, but just do it for anyone out there that's putting out good words. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. What do you think? I mean, I know I kind of went out here and kind of extrapolated what might happen in the future, or what I think will go towards in the future. I understand that it is just that. It's just extrapolation, but what do you think about this? Do you think that what I'm saying makes sense? Do you see this happening too? Because I really do. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong. That'd be great. Wonderful. But that's what I think is happening. So let me know in the comments what you think about that. And if you have ideas on how we can stop this, beyond just like the normal voting, let me know. I would love to hear that too. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit like and subscribe and click the little bell icon so you know about the next time I put out a video. But until next time, stay woke, stay vigilant, keep fighting, and remember, if you keep leaning left, you'll always be right.